Hello, thanks for joining me. Today I want to try out something. I have a different camera here and I've got it on a tripod, so I might be able to do a little more of a steady room tour. This is just going to be a quick update to my room tour. This was a request that I got recently, and I want to show off my anime collection. That's kind of the main focus of this. Maybe show off some things that I think are hidden gems. For starters, I picked up this tray here, which is a stand for my X-Arcade stick. So I just put that right on here, and it works out pretty well. It's not quite as stable as it could be, but you know, it's hard finding something that's arcade cabinet stable. This is a good height, and it works out quite well for playing arcade games on my TV. Additionally, I did go ahead and frame a couple of those Dreamcast postcards that I had. There's actually three of them. One of them you can't see super well from here, but did frame those, so I think those look pretty nice. Not a whole ton has changed. I do have the Resident Evil blaster there for the Wii, which I talked about in another video. It's my PAX East haul. I did pick up some more games for the Saturn. These are PCFX. I talked about some of those Saturn games in a previous video. US PlayStation, I picked up a couple more games for that. It seems like I've managed to get a couple games here and there for pretty much every system that I own. I did get another PlayStation, Japanese PlayStation game or two. And I'm looking to get rid of these Gamecom games. If anybody's interested in those, let me know. So you can see that there. And you know, I got that a long time ago, but it was a really good deal. And I couldn't help it, but I picked up this Shenmue 2 phone card. So I thought that was kind of a neat little bit of memorabilia. So I'll just kind of point you in this direction really briefly. We've got some Jaguar games, the Philosoma that I picked up, some of the anime style PlayStation 2 games that I picked up not so long ago. I've gotten an extra PS2 game or two, some things for the DS and 3DS. Picked up, I think, another game for the PSP. Probably a couple Japanese PlayStation 3 games. Oh, and it's a little bright there, but I picked up Nights into Dreams for the Saturn. So I've got 3 US Saturn games now. A couple more games for the Super Famicom. And for the Wii, I moved my Wii collection up here. I'm trying to get rid of the boxes for my Atari 7800 games. You know, I'm not collecting those boxed, I just want them loose. So more Japanese Dreamcast games. I have about 100 of those now. And Stormwind, I picked that up pretty recently, a homebrew for the Dreamcast. I also pulled out my Super Nintendo Super Scope. I've got one boxed there and one loose there. The boxed one is about as complete as I could get it. And of course I got Lethal Enforcers for the Sega CD, has the cool gun with it. So yeah, anyway, not a whole lot has changed. I'm thinking I might get another case to possibly put over here, maybe a spinner that's as tall as these are, that I could use to hold, you know, all the stuff that's on these shelves right now, and plus some other stuff. I think that might be a good solution for this space. But anyway, so let's get into the anime here. This used to have a bunch of comic book movies, and I got rid of a bunch of those because I realized I'm just not really going to watch them. I have gotten some more Blu-rays recently. Picked up Afro Samurai, which is really great. Afro Samurai Resurrection, I haven't watched that yet. I've got Berserk movie, the first one, which is quite good. I'm planning to get the next two. K-On! The movie, I just picked that up recently. And Skycrawlers, I forget if I had that last time. That's really good. And of course, I'm starting to build up a Ghibli collection. So these were on sale on Amazon, so I took advantage of that. I'm just getting a few classics. Well, this is probably my big addition to my anime collection recently. I picked up all of Maison Ikkoku. This is one of my absolute favorites, just from back in the day. And that's all I've been trying to do is just get a few things that, I've been wanting to have for years that I just don't have, or just filling in some holes. Like, I've gotten the first half of a series and I never got the last half. I've been trying to fill some of that stuff in. Here you can see Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oops, let's just adjust this a little bit here. That I just picked up recently. I got that one from one of my friends, and surprising I didn't have that before. But, here we have Battle Athletes. I picked up the next two OAVs, that completes the OAV series for those, and to go along with the TV series. Now, this is probably my first hidden gem that I want to talk about. If you guys haven't seen Battle Athletes Victory before, I would highly recommend it. It's a really great series. It's just fun. It's essentially a sports drama comedy with a science fiction twist. So you have the main character, Akadi. She's trying to become Cosmo Beauty, which it seems like a utopian future where countries will compete in an Olympics-style event. And her mother was a famous winner of Cosmo Beauty, and so Akari is trying to live up to her legacy. But of course, she's the worst student in her class. It's very compelling and really a classic series that I don't think a lot of people have heard of. Another one here, Birdie the Mighty. And they did another series recently, Birdie the Mighty Decode, but I have to say I don't like it nearly as much as this original OAV series. This is only 4 OAVs, but they're just really good. It's like she's an intergalactic police officer. So she comes to Earth, she's going after this galactic criminal, and of course some hapless main character gets caught up in this. He actually ends up sharing a body with her, so it's kind of that Ranma 1/2 like gender changing aspect, plus you just have this really understated comedy that I just really enjoy. But let's see, what else do I have here? Let's go up to here. A lot of this stuff is good. A couple of these things I haven't seen before. Unfortunately, I hate to admit, but Lupin the Third. Here's something I picked up recently. I had gotten First Haul when it first came out, and I was really excited. I was hoping that these collections were like old Lupin the Third movies, but I guess they just make a Lupin the Third movie like once a year. So these are the ones essentially from the past decade. So First Haul, I watched a couple of them. It was, they were pretty good. They're Lupin movies. So Final Haul I didn't pick up right away, and unfortunately I ended up spending a little bit more than I would have if I picked it up when it first came out. But it was worth it to just finish that off. Definitely wanted to have those. This is easily one of my most favorite anime. Even in comparison to anything else. I don't know why. I definitely like this more than it probably warrants, but it warrants a lot of like because it's just great. And I don't know, it's really a parody of Dirty Pair, and you can kind of see, side by side here how it's pretty similar. But this is also got a little bit more. They're aliens, which certainly not how it works in here. And but it's a comic duo kind of girls who cause a lot of collateral damage, and they're theoretically protecting the world. And so there's a hapless main character who gets sucked into it all, and this is painfully short. I think this is only 2 OAVs that they made for this, but there is a comic book series. I actually can't believe that I don't have it. I've actually never read it, so I'm definitely going to be picking that up sometime, because this is one of my absolute favorites. So another thing that I got recently for my anime collection is a Laserdisc player and some Laserdiscs. Now these have a story because they were my friends, And this is the same friend who, like, back in the day got the PCFX and things like that. So, I mean, he was a really, sort of quote unquote bad influence on me, but we influenced each other, and I think we kind of grew up with this stuff. So, really great friend. And, he recently I'm just like, man, do you have, that Hyperdoll like laser disc still? And he's like, oh yeah, totally, you want those? I was like, yeah. So we arranged a deal. And the cool thing about the laser disc, there's a second one too, and I don't know if he had it, but they have extra stuff that wasn't on that DVD. It really pains me, but they did some live action skits associated with this, which are just great. And they ended up on the laser discs and not on the DVD. So that's it's really a shame. But a bunch of laser discs here, some anime, really classic stuff from back in the day. These are mostly U.S. releases, but a bunch of stuff I picked up from him. Didn't he gave me a good deal on this stuff, but anyway, I won't go through it all. But there's just that's actually a Japanese one, but Pretty Sammy, Area 88. I really am such a fan of Hyperdoll that I have gotten some cells, some animation cells. I guess I'll stand these up here. There we go. So, I don't believe in keeping these in books like some people do. I really don't think that that's a good way to hold them. So I keep mine in these art portfolios. They're archival quality portfolios. And you can keep the sketch with them. And, these weren't expensive, but it's just so amazing, to really hold in your hand the the original cell that was filmed for like a show that's sitting on your shelf. How cool is that? These are all from Hyperdoll. And that's probably my best shot from the show. It's more of this scene when they're changing at the pool. Some lip flaps in that other one that I don't have. But here's this one looks kind of weird with that line, but that's she's in the pool there. So moving on, another one that's a great here is Magical Play, and this is I think one that's on Crunchyroll now. This is by AIC, and AIC might have done one or two of these other ones. They tend to do stuff sometimes that flies under the radar. But Magical Play is just really funny. This girl is going on an adventure. She's going to become like a magical girl, and everybody gets some sort of a companion. So she gets this fish that she wears like a suit, and she like eats its flesh to stay alive. It's like this immortal fish or something. It's so funny, and just so many wacky things happen in it. I really can't recommend that one enough. This is a great one here. Boku no Marie, my dear Marie. Basically, this, of course, this nerdy guy in school, really smart, gets this crush on a girl at school. So instead of like confessing to her, he just makes an android that looks exactly like her. And this is really short. It's maybe 3 episodes, which is just a crying shame. But these were probably OAVs. And they're fun. It basically is like the start to a really good series that never happened. So another one I wanted to recommend. This is AIC that I was talking about. Photon, The Idiot Adventures, from the creative team behind Tenchi Muyo. Now, it's kind of annoying when they do that. Normally it means something sucks. It's like, it's like the dude that did this and the guy that wrote that and somebody that produced something, and it's just they're just trying to get some name recognition to something that's awful. This is the exact opposite. This is super great. And it's essentially just them doing more harem comedy. Oh, another kind of overlooked gem is Ushio and Tora. Now, this one is about a kid who he unearths this demon, and this demon is trying to kill him basically throughout the whole series. But he has something on it. I forget what it is, but somehow he's able to keep the demon at bay. And they wind up fighting like a bunch of other demons, like yokai and stuff like that. So it's kind of an action series, and it's a little bit dark with all that kind of Japanese, mysticism and ghosts and demons and such. But it's also kind of funny. It's a bit of an action comedy. So that one I got cheap, used. But it's really excellent. One of those ones that probably not a lot of people have seen, but it's way worth checking out. But I would say that's probably about all that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you enjoyed my little bit of an update on my room, and hope that you guys are interested in checking out some of this anime that I recommended. And I hope that you'll join me again for some more Japanese video game related videos, and I guess anime related videos now. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.